Greetings, cyber citizens. You're listening with Cali Joe on YouTube and Prison Radio Riot, January 26th.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
Get ready for the Simple Life reunion with Taylor Hilton and Nicole Richie. For the unprecedented meteorological events in Asheville, North Carolina, and Los Angeles, California, the acts are serious in nature. They have impacted many and brought much sadness to our social and criminal justice community, especially our reformer, Taylor Hilton, and her family, having lost memories of their home. Today's podcast is meant to help people and be united by a common theme in Asheville and Los Angeles, artistry and the entrepreneurial spirit. I am joined by author Kwame Teague, who is a prolific generator of content of countless projects. How are you today, Kwame Teague? Welcome to the podcast.
I'm good, man. I appreciate you for having me.
Hey, I appreciate that too. What wisdom has come across your path today?
Say that one more time.
What wisdom has come across your path today?
Wisdom has come across my path today.
Yeah.
One thing I try to, each day I try to bring something new to my life as far as something to work on internally or a project that I'm trying to complete or get started. And for me, there's never a time other than now. I think that's one of the models that I live by. So that way I don't procrastinate, I don't waste time, and I use and make the best of everything that I have.
That is very interesting right there. And I definitely know that you're very prolific with all that you do. Is this your first experience with Prison Radio Riot, or do you have any other content that the listeners can look up?
Yeah, I've got several. I've got several other interviews, several interviews myself. I'm a co-founder of Prison Riot Radio, and so I'm intricately locked into Jerry Renee. That's my wife. So I'm definitely here for it, and that's why I appreciate you having me on your show.
I appreciate you coming on, and definitely got to give a shout out to Jerry Renee.
Absolutely.
And funny, absolutely. Truly, I believe every man has the inalienable right to control the narrative with the people he's communicating with. And I appreciate your introduction that you've given us. Can you tell us about your current projects you're working on?
Well, right now, basically, I'm working on, as always, trying to put together different film projects, right? The film business is a constant, right? Whether you're actually shooting a movie, trying to get a movie shot, trying to get a conversation about a movie that might be shot, there's always levels to it. Therefore, I'm always involved with that process right there. But at the same time, personally, one of the things that's my priority right now is working on a documentary about my case.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
With Valentine's Day coming, check out the Skins Valentine's Day collection featured on TNT. You won't be disappointed. Kwame, when you speak about that on your case, and just like with the Menendez brothers, would you say there's an interesting factor in your case that people would like to know about?
Well, basically, several things. But the one thing is, one of the main things is that the second lawyer, because I had a capital case, I had to have two lawyers. One of my lawyers was actually a lawyer for one of the victims in my case prior to her death. And they were actually a friend of the family. We did not know this, and he actually volunteered to be my second lawyer. And we did not find this out until recently. I'm talking about within the last few years, because the husband of the victim wrote a letter to the judge at the time, 30 years ago, letting him know everything I just told you. And the reason why he told the judge this is because he did not want this to be used to give me a new trial, which ironically probably is.
So I have to admit, I've been a victim of the attorneys in North Carolina as well. I can relate to you on that. And I think once you get more showings of these attorneys in the state, Because as you know, at this camp alone, we have dozens of guys who are suing their attorneys because of some form of legal malpractice. And it's excessive costs that they're paying, from $16,000 to almost $100,000, and they're not getting any kind of assistance. So I think that kind of production that you're going to do, that would be very, very important. And I don't know the name of the production staff with the Menendez brothers, but I hope that works out for you. Maybe we can let the podcast listener network with them, and also network with Kim Kardashian. Say it's important. I do have further questions for you. You were talking about the film industry and everything, and I know that you do a lot of creative writing classes and teaching, and you and I have personally spoke about projects to work on together, writing. I'll say, in my experience in my prison sentence, before I met you and Jay Renee, I had wrote...
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
And therefore, what can I do when I have no outside source of assistance? So eventually, after giving stuff to parents who gets lost, I've destroyed my content, because what else could I do? And so that avenue in prison is a very difficult one to deal with. Do you have any insight to the listeners who might have family members or anybody they know in prison to help them out?
Well, I mean, the main thing is, life is a chessboard. We all have chessboards. It's just really about recognizing the pieces or the people or the resources around you that fit those particular chess moves. And we all have that. We may not necessarily have family members, but we have friends in here who may have family members. They have churches, they have volunteers. You really have to create your own resources sometimes when you don't have any. You just can't rely on the fact that you don't have anything. You're just going to twiddle your thumbs. There's always a way to gain a resource as long as you're true to who you are, true to what you're trying to accomplish, and I believe your magnetic will bring it to you, and the universe will speak for itself.
I actually agree with that on the content of what you gave me to deal with, and the podcast by itself on Cali Joe and you're listening. From there, it's like when you borrow a car and you fill it back up when you use it, you make it better again for the person who's helping you, which, as you know, I now have social media content on iConvict on Twitter, and been doing a lot of advocating through that, and connecting it back to this podcast as well. So this is Cali Joe, and I appreciate Kwame Teague and Jay Renee for today's opportunity for the interview, and I just want to let everyone know, you really have to be your own advocate, and if you make connections in the world, use them and don't burn bridges. And I will say, thank you for listening. This is Cali Joe.